What is up? Welcome, everybody. How are you doing tonight? My name is Mr. Kevlar. Treat them well, and I try to treat them well. Joined alongside me, as always, the Kickstep King, making his wonderful return. You know what, Abe? I'm gonna let you know. I didn't even give you a hard time last week. It was you had an excused absence for once. So welcome back to the show, Coach Abe.
Appreciate it.
Also joined with us as well, Mr. Diamond D for life. D, what up, though?
Good evening, good people. Good evening.
All right. I'm gonna start off with this. That Crawford fight was boring, and I had to stay up way too damn late to watch it.
I fell asleep on it. I was very upset. I fell asleep on that. But then De La Cruz lose his belt though? The undercard?
Yes, he did in the co-main event. I don't know why it came down to a decision, a split decision, because it was obvious. It was an obvious loss. But anyways, man, I think Crawford has to take the fight with Canelo now.
I mean, yeah. To me, this seems like a tune-up fight, so to speak. Even though it was boring, I feel like we didn't get the bud we've seen in other fights. This fight, not that he was sorry, but it was just like, it seemed like this was just a fight for the money. That's what I'm saying. Now, I love Bud. I think he's one of the top 4 or 5 boxers just in boxing, period. Maybe top 3. But this right here just didn't seem a little scripted, and I do feel like he definitely needs to take the Canelo fight. And I'm sure Canelo will definitely take it as well. But the last two boxing matches I watched with good fighters, with Shakur in his fight and Bud in his fight, they've been boring as hell. Man, we getting these boring fights when we've been asking for good boxing, asking for boxing, period. And the ones that we like to see fight coming out with these snoozers. But like I said, to me, this was a good little tune-up fight for him. And I'm hoping by the wintertime or close to it, late fall, that we seeing Tank Shakur and Bud Canelo.
D?
Well, I know in the commentators of the fight were mentioning that Bud, this was a big fighter compared to what Bud had been fighting against. And as we see, as the fighters get older, as a Floyd Mayweather and some of the others, we didn't see this knockout power any longer. They were just in there boxing. And as they say, showing off the skill set of the sweet science of boxing. Neither one of you guys are lying. I started falling asleep around the 4th or 5th round, being that I have to get up and go to work on a Sunday. And I was like, on the Kev Network, I'm glad we didn't pay for this. Because I'm like, okay, where's the flair and what we looking for? And it took a while, for it to get something, anything. It was hot shots here or there. And you could tell that guy was giving Bud an actual different type of style of fight. And like you said, it's not always good to go up in your weight, but they don't have nobody else to fight. You know what I'm saying? Just like Abe just mentioned, Shakur Stevens and Tank. That's what we got to get. Bud and Canelo, that's what we got to get. If Canelo or Bud's going to want to get involved in that type of activity. I don't know what y'all too sniggling at, but hey, it is what it is. Sniggling going on.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
What's up?
Man, we just excited for Christmas already.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna let it be.
Go ahead, D. Go ahead.
Did you between you two individuals, something came across my mind that has nothing to do with this show, but I have to mention it to you two individuals. I seen a package come across my line in a Fight for New York package, Def Jam Fight for New York. And these people are getting very creative with some of this packaging that I've seen and some of the merchandise that has come across my line. So if either one of you want to get the Fight for New York package, I might have that in stock for you guys in a place far near you.
Yes,
So
sir.
we will get into that later, okay?
Yes,
All right,
sir.
now that's what I was going at with the fight thing, though, man. But yeah, we got to get this heavyweight title fight back over here in play on the United soil, so we can get something. Because we run out of fights. Are we not?
But yeah, the fights we want to see, they won't fucking give us because the fighters seem to have a goddamn issue with it.
Oh, excuse me.
Bud don't want to come down. Go ahead.
Excuse me. And the commentator said we might get another Ryan Garcia and the other guy next year sometime. How? Continue.
Well, I know it's just because he can't right now. But did you see his tweet where he said, "I beat the shit out of Bud Crawford"?
No, I told you it was like a blur.
But the problem to me, Shakur is getting heat right now because people are calling him a boring boxer.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying his fights are snooze fest. I think unless he starts finding a way to ramp up some power, the kid puts out hits, but he just doesn't have the power behind it. He doesn't have that knockout power. Unless he finds a way to get some of that knockout power, I don't think he'll get in the ring with Tank. And with Canelo and Bud don't want to come down, and Canelo don't want to go up. So, both of them are just kind of giving the runaround. They're going to have to figure that out, meet in the middle somewhere. Because that's the fight everybody wants to see.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and like you said with the Shakur and Tank fight, Shakur doesn't have that knockout power. And I believe that you're not gonna beat Tank in a point system type of match in a
absolutely not.
Or nothing like that.
If you pop shot,
because even though he does have the knockout power, he is a boxer, pure boxer.
Yeah.
And he will. This last fight was definitely a little Mayweather-ish for him because he baited him in. I didn't think he had a chance the first couple of rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Then voila,
tire himself out and went to work.
Yes, sir. And Floyd with his last 8 fights, he had that same strategy every time, even with bigger guys, quicker guys, with whatever it may be. You're not gonna out-stamina Floyd. So I think Tank has taken on that same reputation. And if Shakur don't develop no knockout power, he's a goner against Tank. The good thing about Shakur, he can take some punches, but I don't know if he can take Tank punches.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
And as far as Bud and Canelo, man, they got to meet somewhere in the middle. Canelo, you come up a little bit, but you go down a little bit to where y'all can kind of still be comfortable with fighting, because I know Bud don't want to get too.
Mm-hmm.
He don't want to lose that much, and Canelo don't want to put it on.
Yeah.
It'll definitely take away from Canelo's quickness if he puts it on. I feel like, and that's a recipe to be a goner against Bud.
But it'll also take some of Bud's power down.
For sure.
Not having the weight behind it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man, I just wanted to get into that real quick. But, fellas, Oh, I don't know if you actually watched it. I sat down and watched it. Football is back.
Yes.
We've waited 6 long months for this. It is finally here. We had the Hall of Fame game the other night that went down between the Bears and the Texans. Bears pulled it off. They did have a long rain delay. But yeah, man, I know, all this preseason doesn't really count to us that much, but it's just good to see the sport being played on TV.
Yeah, definitely.
Go ahead, Coach.
No, you got it.
I mean, Hall of Fame game. It's a ritual to let us know it's taking us into football season, along with college is going to get ready to kick off their season also. Seeing some of the new rules and the messy play that went on, I have an issue with this kickoff thing they playing with. I don't really care for it. It's almost like returning this into flag football. I know they say they're trying to prevent injuries and so forth and so on, but I I think they need to get another venue for the Hall of Fame game, meaning an inside stadium or something. I know they want to get the spectacle or whatever, but it seems like every time we get a Hall of Fame game and it plays 2, 3 years, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, for some reason there's always a thunderstorm. And the game gets delayed or gets canceled in the second half and so forth. And with them getting rid of one of the preseason games, if I'm a guy that's on the chopping block, you know what I'm saying, of getting or making a team, and you've told me as a coach, Kick Step King, that I'm gonna put you in the fourth quarter. Now what we looking at, so it's a great spectacle, but it's kids and young men out there that are trying to make a team and make a name for themselves, and this just takes away from it. So I really would like for them, if they see this happening, try to get the venue somewhere else, as far as the game aspect. I know they want all the Hall of Famers there. A lot of them come to town. Like I say, it's a big old event, a big weekend. I just think the game need to be played somewhere else sometime.
Agreed. I'm gonna give a male term to this Hall of Fame game. As far as my love for football, the Hall of Fame game is equivalent to. My fellas know what this mean to getting blue balls
Oh,
because
oh.
because it's great to see it on, but maybe 5 minutes into it, as much as you miss football, but as much as we watch football and we're used to seeing the guys out there, I'm talking about the main guys. Um, unless it's intriguing rookie or two or three, by fifth quarter, we're not watching the game. We're just looking at it. If y'all know what that means. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's just
Yeah.
it's just on in the house.
It's just on. So now don't get me wrong, I'm still grateful to see some pig skin on there. But nowadays when they mention it, like the Hall of Fame game on, and in the past I'd be like, oh yeah, football back. But now it's like, okay. And I might watch some Olympics before I watch that. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it is revving up. Uh Real preseason games. I think this is week 1 of the real preseason starting this week right here.
Yep.
Preseason is shortened by a game, so we got 3 games and then a week and a half or something off, and then we added full fledged. But by the time those preseason games are over, college would have been kicked in. So
Mm-hmm.
it takes your mind off of the preseason for a bit. And just for me, right, I only watch my team in preseason just because I just want to see what we got. Like I'm not gonna watch Eagles Cowboys preseason. I'm not gonna watch
Yeah. So
Steelers
you are. you are a part of media now, so you have to we have to watch what you
Ah,
do. You need to
we,
get this together.
well,
Yeah.
I'll definitely get better. Now, had Houston been trotting uh
Stroud or
Norwich Bernard Stroud out there, I would have gladly watched. But
oh,
you know,
Mr. Fingernails. Your fingernails
yeah,
was out there. You
yeah,
would have
yeah,
watched.
yeah.
Okay,
So,
I
but
got
like I said, I'm glad that it's back. We probably got maybe 3 more weeks before college really kick off. Like be the week before Labor Day weekend, around in there. So yeah, man, it's back, man, and I'm glad. Regardless on if it's the Hall of Fame game, it still was all right to sit down and not watch it, but still just look at it. Just being a football lover. So,
interesting that you mentioned you lead into the subject here that you don't watch nobody but your own personal team because I went Friday night and sat and watched the scrimmage in the beautiful facility down there on Northside Drive. And I think y'all finna have some controversy on y'all hands because number 9 has a cannon, sir. And that thing was coming up out of there. Go ahead, Kev. What you got? I'll let Kev get back to it because, yeah, sir, you're going to have some controversy. I think the Falcons have put themselves in a situation where they got too much on the offensive side of the ball, in my opinion, that we don't know what the hell finna happen. I've seen some inconsistencies. Okay, it's first team, second team defense. They out there going soft, but I can see what they got going on. They look faster. I must say to any Falcon fan outside of Coach Avon here, the Falcons look faster on offense than I've seen in the last 2 years.
Hmm.
And that's at the skill positions. I'm not talking about the quarterback. We know what the quarterback is on either rookie or veteran. We know what that is. I'm talking about at the skill position. You can tell they look faster.
Well, did they? Since you were there, did they give Kirk Cousins any time in?
Yeah, he played. I mean, it was first team offense versus second team defense. It's kind of interesting that we went on this on a high school level, the highest that we played, and it's still the same terminology. You get the first team defense versus the second
Mhm.
string offense, so forth. You might get first team versus first team on certain areas that they're working on.
Right.
So it's interesting to see how they match up and the different styles of play calling. I didn't see anything that changed with Cousins and Penix coming in and out. I remember when it was Chris Chandler and Michael Vick, that it seemed like they had a whole different package for Vick and Chandler. You see what I'm saying? More play action pass with Chandler, then more, bootleg rollout with Michael Vick as a rookie. This seemed like it was the same type of play action pass, 1 2 minute rollouts. He's sitting in the pocket going through his progression. You just got to lift it toward a right. Now, what I can really tell you is this: Kirk Cousins got to stop patting that ball because he's patting the ball in the pocket to throw it. If I'm looking at film, he patting ball. All we got to do is wait to see him patting that ball. What Penix is getting his first read, second read, and the ball is coming out. And we've seen some nice deep passes, accurate passes. I can see why whoever scouted him, because we haven't seen the other rookie quarterbacks play. We've heard some mentions of some stuff, the Drake Mays of the world and things that was going on in camp. But I think the Falcons might have stole something. We just mad with the pick and the money of another person, but the Falcons might have stole something here. And I'm not hating this, just from my observation of what I've seen. I've seen a 2 minute drill where they put 1 minute and 25 seconds on the clock. First team offense versus first team defense. We got to get down, threads off a coup to kick a field goal. And they did it with both offenses. Now, Kirk, of course, got his about the 25. Penix got his to probably about the 40, maybe, or the 35. Both of them got in range with Koo. Koo had a longer kick with Michael Penix because they had a holding call, 30-13. Michael Penix got the 13 yards or 12 yards, whatever it was, keep the field goal, won the game. So that's what I've seen. But they got a lot of stuff going on. My question for Coach A with his research: who is the starting running back for the Falcons? Is it Algier? Or is it Robinson? Because I'm confused. But we
Uh,
got Cole.
Cole is a good word, but I think it'll be Bijan. Just for the versatility you'll get with being able to catch it and run it. Not saying that LJ can't, but Bijan is probably a little more explosive. So and just the way we going, um, with putting Kurt in there, I think you need to put all the bullets in your gun out there too when he's out there. And I mean, I feel what you're saying about having too much, but I mean, Kurt, let me knock on wood. Kurt and Penix are both very injury prone players.
Mm-hmm.
So, either one of them is an injury away from the other one starting. So, I just now that I've settled down and just thought about it, thought about the player, thought about the situation, and as far as the money, Kurt, I know he's not getting top 5 money. I'm not sure if he even in the top 10. Now with these new guys getting paid, Jordan Loves and some others. So, the money didn't turn out to be terrible for Kurt and the Falcons situation. And probably after the second year, you can cut him loose if Penix has taken that big of a
Leap.
yes, for sure. So, we got a lot of new guys on the defensive line, defensive front. We lost Calais Campbell and Bud Dupree. We was together probably like 13 and a half sacks, maybe something like that. But I think with the younger guys, younger legs, a new system with Jimmy Lake, in the team, man, when they get a fresh start, it changes where it just gives them more love for the game and more want to be out there. I feel like Arthur's voice. I feel like we definitely needed another voice, especially after 3 years of being the same. Like we never really, even with good draft picks or whatnot. So, I'm definitely excited. They doing joint practice with Tyreek and them down in Miami right now, and we'll play them on Friday. I do like the joint practices. I don't necessarily like the joint practice and then playing them,
Yeah, I don't either.
but that's neither here nor there. So I know that they'll get the offensive line will definitely get some physical work from that Miami defensive front, and our passing defense, DBs and whatnot, will definitely get some work from Miami's quarterback and receiving core. So,
Now, I want to ask you this about a point you made a second ago with if either one of them goes down. I'm just going to throw you a hypothetical here because we've seen it before in recent years.
Sure. Knock on wood, though, Kev. Knock on wood, too. Not do it, goddamn it. Do it.
Kirk Cousins goes down. Penix leads y'all to the NFC Championship. Just throwing a game out there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you start Penix in year 2 or do you bring Kirk back? Do we see yet again a quarterback, a Trey Lance, a quarterback benched because of injury, losing his job because of injury?
You gonna see a Tony Romo, Dak Prescott situation. That's what you're going to see. And because the problem is going to be is what is that contract laced with that we don't know. Meaning Kirk Cousins, how many snaps, how many touchdowns, how many yards, how many percentage of snaps that he has to play to get what he's going to get. If that kid comes in and plays, of course the fan base here is going to be wanting him because that's what's going to happen. Number 2, you're gonna find some suitors that's gonna want a Kirk Cousins easily compared
He's still
to
got a year left on the contract.
Well, what I'm saying, you're gonna find some suitors that's going to want him coming into next year. You got to think it's a lot of teams that really don't they have mediocre quarterback that would take on a contract, even if the Falcons are deferring that money. Something will shake if that's the case,
For
because
sure.
now Penix is ahead of schedule.
For sure.
You follow me? And this is another thing I want to say to both of you guys. I didn't see any physical difference, and I'm talking about height and weight wise. And I'm not even looking at the measurables. I'm not looking at nothing on looking it up. They look like physical quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Again, when we had a situation and we got Heineke on the bench, and you could tell the difference in stature. These guys can see over the line. You follow me? I don't see Penix didn't have a big knee brace on and all that out there. He out there with because they're not getting hit. But that's my opinion with that. I think they're gonna go with the younger guy. You'd be a fool if you didn't.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
All right. Give me 1 second.
Now, and what could be another option is Kurt is okay with them going with Penix. Redoes his contract, takes less money, and be the backup. Now, I don't know if Kurt will do that, but I'm sure if he gets hurt and Penix comes in there and ball out, it's probably a 90% chance that Penix is the starter year two. Maybe 100%.
And to piggyback what Abe's saying here, yeah, Fonnoka could come GM of the year if that happens, because he can mess around and move Kurt and get more pieces.
Yeah. But
okay.
But now, right now, if I take the Vikings out of it came from there. But they're one of the teams that still kind of need a quarterback. I'm not sure they're gonna go with McCarthy or not. But them, New England, and
keep going.
Maybe New Orleans, maybe. I mean, I'm not sure they like Carr.
Oh,
my bad.
I'm gonna get into that too.
Don't show me the lats when we talking about the rat. You try to show me the lats when you talking about the rat.
I'm trying to think.
But you don't have many teams, bro, that need a quarterback right now. Everybody got younger at the position, and just look around, man. Either you got a young QB that's gonna be trying to be up and coming, or you got an established QB on maybe 28 of the 32 teams. Is it 32 teams?
32 teams.
So maybe 4 need a quarterback. Vegas needs a quarterback.
Definitely.
And they got Bo Nix. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
No, Denver got Bo Nix.
Yeah. Denver.
So Denver, Vegas, Minnesota, New England. Those are and you're gonna take Minnesota out of it because he just came from there, so I'm sure they're not gonna.
And if you with those teams that you mentioned, if you go into a next year, and that's the hypothetical case,
Dallas could be on that list.
I was gonna say Dallas could be on that list. I had Dallas as a sleeper. You got the New York Giants as a sleeper. No, excuse me, New York Jets as a sleeper. Because you don't know if Aaron Rodgers is coming back or not. But with all those teams we named, some of them picked up quarterbacks in this past draft and drafted them. Even the New Orleans Saints, as we have seen numerous reports. You know what I'm saying? Different quarterbacks in camp are showing out that did not go in the first
You
couple
can say his name, dog. You can say his name. It's okay.
Spencer Ratliff, man. We didn't have no problem with Spencer Ratliff. It's fine. They say he's giving Derek Carr a run from his money right now. And this is what these teams are doing. I think that a lot of other teams should have done. You bring in a player with some arm talent or with some form of talent at a lower level draft pick, and you force him to make that veteran work.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? The same thing with your club, Trey Lance. Same thing. Even if it was Jalen Hurts back with Carson Wentz, you can see what's going on. You're not a fool.
Yeah.
Some of Super Bowl winners have won with lesser salary quarterbacks and have people built around them until it's time for that quarterback to get paid. San Francisco is a model of that right now.
Yeah.
Hurt ain't got paid yet, everybody. It's coming.
And they're probably going to release him. They're not going to pay.
Ooh.
Real quick,
You think
Kev.
they're gonna get rid of him?
Real quick, Kev. If Dak doesn't get re-signed this offseason, is he gone at the end of this season? Or do they still try to work it out?
I think he's gone.
For sure.
Jerry Jones will clean house.
Yeah.
Get rid of, I mean, we've had Dak for what? That'll be his 9th, almost 10th year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think he's gone. He ain't done nothing. I mean, been a great quarterback. Look, I don't. Have you seen the video with Cam Newton, where it had a bunch of numbers for Patrick Mahomes, and then it was the other person in the league who was ahead of him in some categories, but right there beside him with everything, and Dak Prescott's picture popped up.
Yeah, Dak Prescott. Yes.
Mahomes Prescott and has Mahomes statuses minus the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
And the Bulls, I would say, if he did not play for your franchise,
Absolutely.
he'll be all right. It wouldn't be
One thing
no
I'll say
issue.
to Dak, he has handled it perfectly over the years.
He's professional.
Micah needs to learn that.
He talks too much.
Well, in his defense, if you start your franchise right now, are you starting with Dakota or are you starting with Micah?
I'm definitely starting it with Micah right now because, again, Dak.
I think that's why. I think he feels like he has more leverage because you're gonna sign him and CD before you. I mean, that's the way it look. They're gonna sign him.
No, that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, before they sign that, and just gonna let that walk.
Mm-hmm.
And
they might not let him walk. The only way Dak doesn't walk is if we at least. Everybody's saying Super Bowl. I'm saying NFC Championship. We get to the NFC Championship at least. I think Dak gets a smaller contract. He'll get paid, but I think it won't be a long-term contract.
It'd be like 3 years.
Give him, 3 years.
His next contract will be if he's staying with the Cowboys, it's gonna be a 2 or 3 year deal. If he go anywhere else, it'd be a 4, pushing a 5. I don't see nobody right now because everybody's laced up with their quarterback. Where is he gonna go? You know what I'm saying? Well, you got to think about it. If it's hypothetical, where are you going? Again, we just named 5 teams. Maybe we just named 5 teams that we know is a situation.
Vegas would be nice though.
Vegas would be
I can really see him. I can really see him in Vegas. That's probably the number 1 spot.
Okay.
Now. So with that, Kev, with him gone, are you getting Shador? Or are you getting Carson Beck? Well, no, I mean not those. It doesn't have to be those 2.
Right.
Which way do you feel like you were going?
This moment in time, I feel like how I always say there's what the Falcons need to do and there's what the Falcons are going to do. It's the same rule with the Cowboys. There's what Jerry needs to do, and there's what Jerry feels like he's gonna do because he's Jerry Jones. I think he would go for Shador and Dion because that's a package deal. But I don't think he should. The Cowboys already have enough that comes to them. The last thing I want is Deion Sanders on camera talking all this shit and then us losing. Then we become even more of a joke. And hang on, because I had this conversation with somebody the other day, and he made a good point. That's $500 million right there between those 2.
Who?
You think Shador is going to ask for anything under? I mean, I get when we drafting him and everything, but fucking, You think Dion's going to do it for under 250?
Now,
Well, he can't. They
Dion
have a
going to come in
rookie.
there and
No, they have a rookie contract thing, so he can't do that. So you ain't got to worry about that. Won't happen.
now see the whole thing with Dion for me is coaching in the league is these aren't college kids.
you going to talk to like that.
So will your level of discipline, will your communication be the same? Will your everything? Because like I said, these grown men, and um it's a lot going on in Colorado. I'm sure we're gonna get into that D. But uh, I think Dion needs to stay in Colorado. If not stay in Colorado, stay in college.
Mm-hmm.
I think he deals with the young men a little better. They come in more starstruck and idolizing him, seeing from what he was versus the grown man in the league who doing it now.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I think Dion would be a great position coach in the league versus being a head coach. So I don't think him and Shador are a package deal, but you never know. But I would hope with all that Colorado has invested into him and to the program that he doesn't just up and leave like that. And another thing is usually when coaches leave, they've done some good things at the college level before they go pro.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't done shit.
Shit.
They went 4-8, whatever. So I feel like he still needs work in college, Dion per se, but I do feel like Jerry would go after Shador.
And I don't think y'all will be that low of a pick to get him anyway. So I really don't see that. Right now, y'all do still have talent around the team. It ain't like y'all just didn't blow it up, and you don't want that.
Only thing we need is a QB. And honestly, I think they're trying to groom Trey Lance. Go ahead, D.
I don't that circus coming to town, and you have a person that's in place if you had to do that. So I don't see them going to go get somebody that they know is going to be another bullseye on the franchise and so forth, and you're gonna have somebody questioning y'all. But we'll leave that for when we break down the Cowboys later.
All right. Well, fellas, real quick, let's talk about this new kickoff system. Watching it the other night, it was odd. But essentially, balls kicked from the 35 like usual, safety kicks from the 20 like usual. All right. So all kicking team players, other than the kicker, will line up 1 foot on the receiving team's 40-yard line. Kicker cannot cross the 50-yard line until the ball touches the ground. Yada, yada. That doesn't. All right, here's the important part, the landing zone. Landing zone is the area between the receiving team's goal line and its 20-yard line. Any kicks that hit short of the landing zone treated like a kickoff out of bounds, but the ball will be spotted at the 40. Any kicks that hit in the landing zone must be returned. Any kicks that hit in the landing zone and then go into the end zone must be returned. If it's down, then you get a touchback to the 20. Any kicks that hit the end zone and stay in bounds, return or down, are a touchback to the 30. And any kicks that go out of bounds in the end zone, touchback to the 30.
I want Abe to go because Abe is coaching Little League football, and he's been doing it over a course of years. And I want Abe's opinion on this because what happens, whatever the NFL sets a precedent to, it starts trickling down to certain other levels of football. And Abe, I would love Abe's opinion on this subject.
It's too damn much. It's too much.
I was thinking when I seen it, I was thinking about you as a coach.
Before and usually with Little League, right? The highest level of play rules we'll implement will be college rules. So however the college level is going about it, when we play national games, that's how we'll. If they say we doing college rules, that's how we will.
Yeah.
But for the NFL, bro, the kick returner is gonna have to read the rules before every game. He's gonna have
Yeah.
to study the rules that week so he'll know, because the league has been one way with this, well, up until they changed it to the 30 to 25 or whatever they changed
35.
it.
It went from, remember, it used to be the 50 when we was kids. They moved it back to the 35.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So other than that, the league has been doing that forever. So special teamers, Ray McLeod, I'm not sure who y'all's returner is, Kel, or
Turbin. Turbin.
Yeah. Cavante Turpin.
and who
Turbin.
y'all is D. But
Well, I don't know what we're doing this year.
yeah, but those guys, bro, that it makes their job a lot harder because it's more of what do I have to do, or what do I
Yeah.
do in this
Yeah.
situation versus just getting a return down in it or returning it. So I'm so interested to see how this plays out. Now, moving the ball up to the 40 for whatever situation, I'm thinking that the league itself is just going for more points. They want to see more points scored.
That's if
Points.
the kickoff goes out of bounds.
Okay. If the illegally, like before it goes in the end zone. Okay. Yeah. So man, it's gonna be tough for these returners, man. And I feel like you won't get as many special teams touchdowns because some of them gonna I'm gonna give you a definite example of somebody who could nut this up. Uh the returner for the Chiefs, Kadarius Toney. That's him, right? He's a nut head. So he's not gonna probably remember, oh, I can't do this, but I can do this. I gotta do this. Well, if it do this, I gotta do that. So it's a lot for just straight up ballers and not thinkers to do, in such a short amount of time. But they do get paid to play football. So if they gotta study it every day, I'm sure they will till they get it down pat. But it's just too much. Just too much.
Well, that's why they put it in Kyler Murray's contract. You got to study.
I mean, I mean, because you have the rules committee going around traveling to each camp. The referees are having these conversations, and it's certain things like even in the XFL or whatever, the USFL, they had somebody there to blow a whistle for them to take off on their kickoffs. Now it's just they waiting on the ball to go up and come down in this box. And Abe, I would say this: when you get those Pro Bowl type caliber returners, we might get some. I mean, if they break their first wall, it's off to the races. Right or wrong, it's no more of a kicker angling at somebody trying to make a tackle. You got somebody a safety valve. I don't know. I don't know what they saying is trying to cut down on the concussions and injuries and things of that nature. We would have to get some of our other guests or somebody that's played in the league that can explain this to us, because I know a lot of guys I have talked to that played punt return was like that's one of the most dangerous positions a punt returner, because you're looking up in the air waiting on a ball to drop. And you got somebody coming down to you 100 miles an hour. So I get that aspect of it. I just think now, if that's the case, start the ball at the 25 and let it be.
Eliminate the kickoff altogether and just give them the ball at the 25.
But I'm saying, if that's the case, but see, again, what I just say, you taking people's jobs away from them on these teams.
One of my customers, his son is special teams for Tampa Bay. That's all he does is special teams and kickoff return.
So you take it away from what's going on. So you got somebody fighting for a spot. You know what I'm saying? And I believe they will try it out. They've tried out other things before, and they went right back and reverted back to the old ways of what we're doing, because what we're doing here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be feasible in today's football. But now we're going to be like, what the hell is this?
Well, one thing I'll say to you, D, is I get why they did it, because if you look at like Dallas with Brandon Audrey, there was only one kick on kickoff last year that was returnable. It was other than that, it was out of the back of the end zone. Every single kickoff.
But that's the part of your job as a franchise to go out and scout and get that potential kicker that can do that. So you know for a fact, we ain't got to worry about no returns. Period. If they invested the time into doing that, you wouldn't have these injuries and so forth. Just like we haven't mentioned yet. Another role in the kicking game. You have to mention to the opposing team, that you are kicking an onside kick. This is unheard of in the NFL. You also can't do it just to be doing it.
Yeah, you gotta wait till the fourth.
Or you gotta be down by some points. So what are we doing here? So that lets me know the brass is trying to control the game because of are we worried about the lawsuits later on and things of this nature with the the concussion and the insurance and so forth, that some of these players come back and say, I got this and I got that. I mean, what are we playing here?
Too much government. Sorry.
What are we playing here? So I get it. I understand it. And this is the part where the Players Association has to sign off on this mess. And this is why they don't pay y'all like they pay the other sports, the NBA and the baseball and the hockey folk and everybody else, because y'all let these people get these rules so they can cut you out of not paying you the money for what you're doing. It's the most violent sport that we watch. That somebody's getting, I don't know, okay, I'm saying far as out of mixed martial arts, I'm saying violent of somebody getting hit every play. They do that and wrestle in the octagon. But this here, somebody's getting hit every single play.
They say football is the closest thing to war.
When even looking, if you go to an NFL scrimmage or practice, look at how they practice now. Hey, all of them had the little shell hats on.
Yes, sir.
And I was sitting there like, I'm not used to this. Who is that? Because you can't keep up. There's so many of them out there. You don't know who's who. And you look it up at the screen. Oh, okay, that's Robinson right there. Or that's Penix right there. You know what I'm saying? And so forth. So I understand making the game safe for certain things and teaching them the right way in this form. But we're going to be playing football in a minute. And that's why we here love college football in the South. Because we see football.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Go out there and hit somebody in the mouth football.
All right.
Go ahead, guys.
I want to answer Bo's question. Do you guys think Coach Brown would take a? I think it depends on the school, Bo. I don't think he'd go on to Missouri.
He'd go to Vandy.
No, he would not.
He's not going to Missouri. He's not going to Vandy. So it would have to be a sort of sexy job for him to go. Okay, South Carolina would be cool. Would you like that, Ken?
No.
Okay.
Well, if I can see how next year goes for him.
Texas A&M would be one.
I think Texas A&M could definitely be on that list. Mississippi State.
I don't think he's going to Mississippi State.
No, that ain't gonna happen. He won't go back into Mississippi. That'll cause too much controversy. No.
I didn't think about that.
Auburn.
I can see Auburn.
Well, watch this. You got to pay attention now. He's got his Nike contract back. So a lot of that plays a part of where he's going. Auburn is Under Armour.
He couldn't go to Carolina. They're Under Armour.
See, you got to start knocking it down. And Nike's a big
Adidas.
Nike's a big dog. It ain't happening. Nike a big dog.
He ain't going to Georgia. He ain't going to Texas. He's not going to
Alabama.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma is what I was about to say, D. All right.
Oklahoma and Alabama started going cuckoo in a hat. But Oklahoma and who we saying Texas Tech, Texas A&M, Texas A&M. They could be on the radar. Even but they Adidas. That's not going to happen either.
Well, but I can see him pulling something. You don't think he could switch to school?
No,
With the
they
influence
will.
that he has,
They
and he
will.
has the
They
Nike
will do it.
contract already, he
They
could
will do
flip
it.
Texas A&M because I think he would. Yeah, him being back in Texas.
But that's to mean the whole athletic department has to be that. So you got to think. Nike was already at Colorado.
True.
They just had to sign him back up for that. You know what I'm
True.
saying? I still believe if hell all breaks loose, Florida State will be his next move if that's the case.
Mm.
I don't see him going nowhere else right now. If that's the case, Florida State will be the one. And that's outside the SEC. And even if Florida State, the rumor, Florida State and maybe Clemson or Florida State and North Carolina coming to the SEC, we shall see.
Now, what would you think about Clemson? Because I think if Clemson doesn't make the playoffs this year, Dabo's out because he
He's not
doesn't want to use the transfer portal.
He not going no Clemson.
I
Okay.
think
He not.
I think Dabo will use the portal before he goes out.
And
I agree. He
I,
will.
and Dion's persona is he wants to win at a university that has never won anything. He needs that, unless it's Alabama coming.
Mm-hmm. Put him on the
Somebody,
table for Carolina. We can flip from Under Armour.
okay,
For sure.
go ahead. What we got next,
Put
y'all?
him on the table. Real quick. Oh shit. Let me pull this back up. Sorry, we don't have the banners tonight. For some reason, they are not working. Coach Abe, man, you were gone last week. Had a little business trip to go handle. Let's hear about it. Oh shit! Just tried to click the banner. Yeah, man. Let's hear about it.
Yeah. So my team ABA 12U Dog Crew, we went down to Panama City. Played in the YNC National Preseason Tournament. Uh, Lambo was in it. We were in it. Fort Lauderdale was in it. Bullet Academy out of Texas.
Mm,
That's four. The team that one of our original guests, Coach Erica Wise, the Louisiana Grizzlies were there,
okay.
and the team called the Alpha Dogs. They were out of Florida. So we got down there. Well, I got down there Friday morning, and we ended up playing Bullet Academy, which was the team out of, I think they're from Dallas. A lot of little mix ups down there, man, with the time changes and the, them not being able to move our game to another field because this game may be in overtime. So it was just a real experience the 2 days because we had to be out there in the hot sun thinking we were gonna play at one time, and then they changed to this time, and then when they changed to that time, the time we're supposed to play, it's an overtime game, so we pushed back 30 more minutes. But all in all, man, we ended up going 1-1. We lost the first game to Bullet, 14-8, and we beat the Louisiana Grizzlies that next day, 24-6. And just being back at AVA, man, it's a little bit of a culture change from where I was. The kids, the coaches, and the parents have never even won a national game in YNC, whether it be preseason or postseason. So it was good for us to get that first win on our belt. And that's what preseason is for when you have basically a whole new team, man, with 20 new kids and 40 total kids and a couple new coaches. But we still trying to be able to incorporate two quarterbacks with Zayden and Dylan to run the quarterback. Shouts out to Zayden, who actually got a little injured down there and couldn't play the second game. But all in all, man, just being able to get back out there with them, I think each game tells us more of what we got and what we need to do. we definitely wanted to go down there and go 3-0 and play Lauderdale in championship. But like I said, we fell a little short that first game. But it's all in the experience, man, and just taking on this new role at a place I've been at. It's been good to get to know new kids, see what they're doing, see how they can improve. And I will say that for me, and I don't think I never talked about this. For me, I think the biggest difference from where I was versus where I am now is the winning culture that we had with Lambeau. Like, we knew how to win. We knew going into games, we felt confident a lot. The kids themselves were more locked in mentally, and I think because we haven't been through that fire with ABA like that, you don't get the same level of discipline from the kids. It's just a lot that's I'm observing from where I was to where I am now.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what preseason is for teams like us, like with a whole new team, because you're not gonna really know what to improve on or what not to do if you don't get out there and get some reps. So it was definitely a great experience. I got to go to the beach with the fam. I never been to the Gulf Beach. It's really nice though. Panama City is definitely a different type of heat. Florida heat is different anyway.
Yeah.
And I just realized that that part of Florida is on Central Time. So all in all, man, it was a great experience. Got to bond with the coaches, the kids, the parents, and had some good times with the fam. And of course, Lauderdale ended up winning down there. The boys like a well-oiled machine. They looking real good. So shouts out to Coach Marl and them boys for putting it all together. But I will say that Atlanta represented really great down there. I think we won the championships at 6U, 7U, 9U, 10U, and 11U.
Damn.
Yeah. So we went down there and represented the whole state of Georgia, went down there and balled out, man. And come December when we go for the real deal, hopefully we got more teams, including us, that's representing the state of Georgia in the championship.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
All right.
I do like the fact that what you do, man. I know it's a change in scenery for you and the family going back to this situation and whatever. And like you said, when you are trying to get y'all camaraderie together or whatever, it's a connection because you got all different parts, and it's gonna take some time. And, even your coaching style compared to other coaching style, and it's a lot. But y'all have a athletic team. I see.
Yes, indeed.
That's just on a one showing that me and Kev seen. And we know it's gonna get to the point where it's gonna be a well-oiled machine, especially if you got all players in place. So I get it. I get it. But interesting. Hey, like you said, it's the first time they went into this event.
Yes.
It's this organization.
Yes.
So that's a test of time of where they being. I know they can lean on you a little bit because you've been there in these wars per se. And it's a lot of disrespectfulness that go on with this too. So now they know you got a target on your back to a certain extent because they will come and play. And I know who is that player right there? That player was on Lambeau. Yeah, there's a lot of that. I know. Yes. So there you go. So yeah.
Right. Well, the last topic we have here tonight, fellas, the men's basketball team has advanced and will be playing Brazil in what I believe is the quarterfinal.
Yep.
So I had a good win over Puerto Rico the other day. They messed around and gave everybody a little scare, but ended up pulling it off in the end. D, as we have now seen 3 games from these guys, 3 real games. What are your thoughts? Are they doing, as the title says, are they honoring the identity of the USA
I,
basketball team?
I honestly, from what I've seen, basketball wise, is no problem to a certain extent. They got more drama going on behind the scenes than I've ever seen in Olympic basketball with the coaching staff and the player. This is becoming a joke. You know what I'm saying? Because now you got to think about the fan bases involved in some of these players on team. The Lakers fan base, LeBron and AD, they are far long in the tooth. What if an injury takes place with we know street clothes? It don't take much. You can blow on him and he hurt. You know what I'm saying? You got Steph Curry running around there. You got KD running around there. This is not a young team. This is an older team, and you got politics being played where you got Jason Tatum not even playing, but a role player is playing off Boston team. You got 3 Boston Celtics on this team: Holiday, John Legend, and Jason Tatum. You know, John Legend, I'm being funny. So you know what I'm saying? That's what you have on this team. It's a lot of
Me a
stuff.
second.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on this team that I hope they can stay focused. Now I'm gonna say this on this team, things can happen when it comes back into the NBA season. Meaning, who is the new face of the NBA?
No.
Is that young dog up there, Ant-Man, finna take over to be the face? You follow me? You got like I said, Tatum was already 1-2 in the MVP voting, so we know what he is. But it's just a lot of drama. They need to pull this off because any slip up or anything, which I don't see it happening. That's why you have the KD, LeBron, and Steph Curry on this team, the veteran leadership with championship pedigree. That when it comes to it, hell will break loose. You got a LeBron that doesn't have to do nothing but facilitate. He can score at will when he wants to, and I think a lot of outside of some of the teams that don't have NBA star power, they're in awe of them. You follow me? So you have a lot of stuff that can go on. I want them to get it over with because it's being dragged out and it's taking a long time, and to me, it's taken away from some of the stuff that's going on in the Olympics because we waiting on it. Let's get to it so we can get this over with. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree, D. I feel like it's even, this team has 4 or 5 guys that's capable of getting 50 or at least 40. LeBron is in his comfort zone playing the point forward. I do feel like it's some craziness going on with Tatum not playing, but you playing Jason White. But I will say that I think Kerr, what he does is scouts the other team, sees their strengths, looks at our strengths. I don't think we have any weaknesses. And I feel like we've been doing a good job, man. Ant-Man went crazy one game, KD went crazy one game, and we just have that. We have that the luxury of if as long as one of y'all go crazy,
We should be okay.
We good, So Ant-Man took over that game before this last one, and KD took over that first game. Now they're saying KD might not start. I'm not sure if he's still dealing with some injuries or something like that. But I think Kerr is doing a fairly good job. Other than that whole Tatum thing, is doing a pretty good job of spreading the love around. You got 3 good bigs with Embiid, Bam, and I blow on you, you get hurt. And I feel like we got size, we got shooting, we got defense, we got everything, man. So I think the only way teams hang around is if we bullshit, we playing around and not just going hard like we can. And like I said, I want to say last week because I wasn't on last week, Kev. Sorry about that. But the last show I was on, in some of these instances, they just try to dumb down what they do to appease the other person, the other players. You feel what I'm saying? So, as long as we got one guy who will go crazy, no matter who it is, whether it be Steph, whether it be Tatum, or as we seen, Katie and Ant-Man, or maybe even Braun, I feel like we got this in the bag. And I think it's only one other team, and I think that's Canada, that has 5 starters from the NBA. Two from OKC, Dylan Brooks. I'm not sure the other.
You got what you call them? The boy went to Kansas that played Golden State. That LeBron traded and got away.
Yes. Yeah. So, but like I said, man, it should be a breeze, man. Like it should not be anybody any other team in the Olympics should get ran out of the gym when they play in the US. So I'm definitely looking forward to the blowout quarterfinals, a blowout semifinals, and definitely a blowout in the final to win the gold. So this was I think the most no-brainer event for me that we would get it. I've started out watching a couple games, but after they go up by so much, I don't really like watching the blowouts. So hey man, the only thing standing in our way of that goal is us. So I think we'll get out our own way with that, and we'll get that goal.
There you go. All right. You know what? D, give me your last take.
I want to shout out to all the Olympians that have won gold. We have been looking at a lot of different events, from ping pong to ski shooting to rowing. Kev was looking at some two-piece volleyball just recently, and plenty of information that we are enjoying in the different events. Shout out Simone Biles and the rest of the gymnastic team. Even the men, they medal. They didn't get gold, but they did medal. It's been years since they've done that. Shout out to the men winning the 100 race. You fail to realize how many years have went by that the U.S. hasn't won or dominated in track and field. Jamaica has been whooping their ass.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? On a regular basis, and they're trying to get that back. A lot of times I know we don't get the coverage from other countries because we're the USA, and you see what goes on: swimming, diving, gymnastics, all the different events, man. It's very interesting to watch. So the events that are left, if you can, it's luckily that we have these streaming networks that we can go back and watch what we want to watch and check it out. Fencing or whatever. But shout out to all the Olympians out there that have medaled and won gold and representing your country. Thank you.
There you go.
Thanks everybody for tuning in this week. But my last take gonna be about a message that I got from D today regarding a guy we talked about on the program earlier this evening, Coach Prime in the Colorado program. I don't like all of these, and I won't go into it too much, but I don't like all of these black eyes that Dion is giving himself and the program of Colorado. Now, a lot of this stuff is alleged, but a lot of the stuff that's coming out is coming from players that were in the organization and had left. And some that had just played for him and went on and graduated. But before he goes anywhere else, man, I want him to get a clean slate and just a good year of nothing but good football and not all of the extra stuff off the field. It was said that it's like and I'm gonna just be short with it, that atmosphere is like a real live Grand Theft Auto with money and guns and stuff like that. That's all alleged, but I'm not sure if other good college programs are doing stuff like that. Now we may drive some Hellcats and get tickets.
47. 47.
Excuse me, this is his take. This is his take.
So with all this stuff with Coach Prime, man, he's a great figure, a great sports icon, not just football, a great sports icon. And it's just hurt me a little too much to hear all of the stuff that's going on, and for him to seem to have so much control over the program, we still get like these little negative bits and pieces of what he got going on. So get that together, Coach Prime, and try to go at least 8-4 this year, baby. Thank y'all.
That man's shooting for 6-6. Real quick, Abe. 47 incidents since Kirby Smart became the head coach. I just got to throw that out there. I think Georgia is Urban Meyer, Florida 2.0.
No, sorry, don't do that.
I'm sorry, D. I just want to rile you up a little bit. No, my last take, I'm going to piggyback on D. Shout out to Noah Lyles, the first American to win the 100-meter dash. As you said, Jamaica has been running that, and he won by 0.3 of a second.
Great finish.
His foot is on the line as the Jamaican's forehead was coming to it. So shout out to him. Well, man, that is all we have tonight. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will be back next week. Same place, same time. Until then, enjoy the football on TV. Keep your beer cold. And we know you're going to be hungry, so make sure that the wings are always lemon pepper.
Wet, not dry. Wet, not dry.
Wet lemon pepper with sprinkles on the side.